Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. Today with a leaf blower in the background. I don't understand how it is that in our neighborhood you gotta find you can put an attachment on a chainsaw and all you do is stand around and run it until it runs out of gas, and it makes all kind of noise for people who are in not well insulated shacks to try to do videos. Nevertheless, we have Star Trek news for you near the end of this video, and we're talking about Deep Space Nine today with an episode called Destiny. In this episode, what we have is Sisko, who is the emissary, or at least believed to be the emissary by the Bajoran clergy. And we've never gone really very deep into that until one defrocked Vidic comes in and tells Sisko that a plan that they have in order to create a communications link to the Gamma Quadrant is going to, according to prophecy, cause some great ruin to the Temple of the Gods, which is what they call the wormhole. And so much of this is a revelation to Sisko about just how much of the prophet's predictions are about him, and whether he is indeed the emissary or they just think that he is, and a revelation that Kira believes that he's the emissary, despite the fact that she has tried to compartmentalize her beliefs and her duties to the station. So this is kind of interesting here, and the prediction that the prophets made 3,000 years ago seems to be amazingly accurate, at least as they think. It seems to all fit into place. In a B story, we have O'Brien working with one of the Cardassian scientists who thinks that he's coming on to her because he's grumpy, kind of like he always is, and that creates a little bit of comic relief there. Also, of course, in the personage of Quark, we have a couple of rules of acquisition to add. In fact, it was Dax who asked Quark, it is rule number 34 that peace is good for business. And Quark says, no, that's number 35. And she says, well, what's 34? He says, war is good for business. Those two are often confused. I thought that was a funny one, and a few little light moments in an otherwise very interesting and well-written episode where we have Sisko, who was absolutely a doubter, now doubting his doubting, if you will, rather thinking that all of this Bajoran belief is really unfounded as far as he's concerned, and he's starting to believe himself that maybe he is part of the prophecies that have been given. So I recommend this episode. It's one of the better. Stand by. They make some mention of the Dominion, but once again, any kind of lead-ups to the Dominion War to come later. Meanwhile, Comic-Con happened last week and in San Diego, and that's the big Comic-Con where they have the 6,500 capacity Hall H, in which this year they had the cast of Strange New Worlds in there, at least some of them. They had Rebecca Romijn and Ethan Peck and Pike. And they were talking about, they showed a preview, and now it's all over the web too, where you can see it, that they all, for some reason, have to dress up as Vulcans. They actually have a genetic serum that they take in order to become Vulcans for some reason. And that is, of course, for Pike and Number One and a couple of other members of the cast. But interestingly, Engineer Peli was not able to have any effect from that. Apparently, the serum did not affect her race. She said it was the same as when she took LSD in the 60s and 90s, and then in last July. It was no effect on her. And you could believe that coming from her. Also, want to mention that we know that Lower Decks, which was also at Comic-Con, they're going to have their first episode of their final season on October 24th. And so that's we're looking forward to that. Wish they would do more than that. Also, there's been some talk with the producers of Prodigy. They're still kind of hoping that now that season 2 has been moved over to Netflix, that maybe there would be some advantage of producing a third season of that for Netflix. So we'll see what comes of that. I kind of doubt that anything's going to happen, at least in the near term. And the Section 31 TV movie, already parts of that have been filmed, and with Michelle Yeoh, and that is an undetermined release date on that. Same with Starfleet Academy. They've already indicated they're going to have Tig Notaro and Robert Picardo in there, reprising their characters from previous series. And then Mary Wiseman and Odette Fair will also be guest starring. Perhaps they will be occasional appearances on there. Fair, of course, is the admiral, and of course Mary Wiseman being Tilly. So that is what we know about Starfleet Academy. We don't know when it's going to start, except probably sometime in 2025. Strange New Worlds sometime in 2025. Lower Decks in October 24th, and Section 31 whenever they're ready. So that's what we have this time. Hope you got something from that, and we'll see you next week. Until then, don't go far. And just now, as I'm finished with all of this, they stopped with the leaf blowers.